tribute to the flag.
Father, we come to you this morning. We just thank you for your blessings upon the county, this great state that we live in. We just ask that you continue to bless us. We just thank you mostly for your Son, that we could have everlasting life. Just be with the service people that are unable to spend time with their families this season, and just minister to them and bless them. Just give us the wisdom as we continue to discuss and deliberate and make decisions on behalf of the county that it will benefit the entire county, and most importantly, glorify you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. We now call the meeting to order. Miss Jamie, would you give the roll call, please?
Mr. Deaton?
Here.
Mr. Flake?
Here.
Mr. Garrison?
Here.
Mr. Howerton?
Here.
Mr. McNeely?
Here.
Mr. Mills?
Here.
Mr. Phillips?
Here.
Mr. Reed?
Here.
Mr. Rickey?
Here.
Mr. Ray?
Here.
Mr. Schwaber?
Here.
Thanks.
We're all present today. Next item of business is approval of the agenda. Jack moves approved. Joe second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item of business is public comments. You have 3 minutes.
We need to adjourn.
After item this one. Number 6. Disposition of adjourning proceedings, approval of previous minutes. Any corrections or additions?
I have a correction.
Okay.
On the first page in the last paragraph, it says J.P. Ritchie repealed an ordinance. I think that should say tabled. He wanted to hold it, we didn't act on it. It wasn't repealed. It was, I think that's just a typo. With that, I'd move we approve the minutes as correct.
Okay. Second. 2 seconds. Thank you, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Next item of business is public comment. 3 minutes. Do we have anyone that wishes to speak?
I just wanted to introduce you guys to Bruce. This is Bruce Lee. He's our new ag agent here at the office, and if you have a few minutes, stick around and chat with him. We're done.
Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Anyone else? If not, we'll move on. Next item of business is Sheriff Moody. 10 minutes first.
Well, the information I'm going to give you is to be my last report to the Quorum Court. And since I only have the information through November, yes, that really the numbers I'm going to have are going to be a projection. But just a couple of things, a couple of changes that we have made in the last couple of months is I had attended a Rotary meeting, and Good Shepherd was at the Rotary meeting, and they were concerned about the number of dogs they had, the number of cats they had, and trying to get these animals adopted. And one of the problems they had with the dogs is that a lot of the people don't want to take a dog unless it's been domesticated. It's going to be family friendly. And they were asking for volunteers to come and work with the dogs so that they can get them adopted very quickly. So this time of the year, you know, our 309 spend a lot of time taking care of the maintenance on the outside of the building, the lawn and everything else. But in the wintertime, they're kind of slow. So what I did is I volunteered our 309s, and they go over a couple of times a week to work with the dogs, and there's been a fantastic improvement in the animals themselves, and the 309s are truly enjoying the opportunity to get away and do something different. The other thing is we put the dispatch on a 12-hour shift. And that's been working out really well because one of the problems you have is having the flexibility and having the proper coverage on each shift. So by going to the 12-hour shift, the same thing like we did with the jail, it has really helped us reduce our comp time by going to the 12-hour shift, so it's working out pretty well. I gave you a copy of the jail report. And the numbers indicate the project is going to be the best year that we have had. The big increase has really come in the housing of prisoners, whereas last year I think we only had about $80,000 for prisoners for the year, and we're probably going to be over $300,000 for this year. And the other area is in the increase in sales tax. I think it's going to be up about $40,000 this year, but the only thing about the sales tax is that's not an indication that there's been an increase in tourism in Carroll County. Most of that increase is coming from the increase in the cost of goods, the services, and so forth. But this has turned out to be one of the best years that we had. I gave you a copy of an article that appeared in the Democratic Gazette. And I just want to take the opportunity to try to explain all the issues that are involved because it's going to affect the county. There's three issues there. One is the paying for $28 a day, the state paying the county for housing prisoners. A lot of counties would like to see that increased because I think the federal government pays $40, but at the same time there's a lot more demands on the counties for housing their prisoners. The other issue that came up in that article is regarding the fines and fees, because the state needs the fines and fee money in which they use to help offset the cost in the counties for the operation of the courts. So the problem that they're having is that the counties would like to have more than $28 a day, but at the same time the state, because of the overcrowding, that the money's going to be there, you'll eventually get paid, but it may be a delay because the county doesn't have the money to pay the counties for housing their prisoners. The other issue is that they're falling behind and they're not collecting the fines and fees, and they're helping to support the counties for their court operations, that they may in turn say this is going to be the expense the county's going to have to bear, that they don't have the money in order to pay for either the judges, for the defense attorneys, for the jury, so there's an issue there. But the biggest problem that we're having, we fortunately, Carroll County has not. I think there's only been twice where we have reached the maximum in our prison. A lot of other counties have gone way over, their capacity. What happens is that if a county is housing a lot of ADC commits, and an ADC commit is an individual who has just been sentenced to prison, and now the state will not be able to accept an individual until there is a bed for an individual. So the county has to house them until that happens. You're getting $28 a day for that. But what happens is that when you reach your capacity, and you're housing all these prisoners for the state, that now affects your law enforcement efforts in the county because you're going to have to, when you're dealing with traffic enforcement, if you stop somebody who's driving without a license, they may have an outstanding warrant, they may not have insurance, there's drugs in a vehicle. If you are at full capacity, you don't have room to house those individuals. So what happens in a lot of the counties, the jail, the sheriff's office has to make the decision. If I have this individual here, am I going to put him in the prison? If I bring him into prison, I have to let somebody else out. So what has happened is a lot of the counties, the judges have to make a decision. A lot of times individuals receive an OR rather than being placed in jail. They're given the ankle bracelet, they're being placed on house arrest. And then the sheriff's office, they're not enforcing the traffic violations, they're not doing the warrant service. So that is the biggest problem that we have with this issue, but it's something that is really a statewide problem. I know we've had our discussions here in Carroll County about our fines and fees, but the problem we have is really a statewide problem because the state is not going to be getting the revenue. They're in turn are not going to be paying for some of the services and we force those services cost back on to the county. Because to build a new prison, to house more prisoners, is something that's going to be very costly to the state also. Let's see. One thing that is pending, a few months ago, I submitted a request to the Attorney General for an opinion, and that is regarding the validity of our agreements with the cities, as also as if the agreements and the wording of the ballot suggests that the cities get free services. So that is something that is pending, but it may take up to 6 months because of the number of requests that they have. But that is a pending before the Attorney General. In leaving, the only thing I would like to say is that I think very much about my people and the county employees and the county. And if the next Quorum Court, that it within the near future, I hope there's an opportunity where there will be agreement to go forward with the Johansson Group study, because that would be the only plan that this county has as far as what we can expect in the future and so forth, so we can do some planning. And I think it's only fair to the employees to know what they can expect every year. And I think we have the responsibility to do the best thing we can for our employees. I think to show them that we are concerned about their wages, we are concerned about their working environment, and I think going with the Johansson Group study would give us a plan to work on so that we can improve the situation. Because most of my employees, my jailers, my deputies, they know that the money's not there, they can't get a raise. But I think the one thing that they have recognized, and they have said to me many times, as long as they know that the Quorum Court is concerned, that the Quorum Court is going to do what they can in order to make it better, I think you're still going to have at least an effort by them to continue to do their best job, rather than have any kind of morale problem. So in closing, the only thing I can say is I've been in law enforcement for 36 years, the last 8 being as sheriff. And being sheriff in my 36 years has probably been one of the most rewarding jobs I ever had, only because, and I think Randy's going to find out for himself, that if you become sheriff, I never realized I would get involved in the things that I get involved in, and how the community looks to you and what they expect from you, and the things they ask of you, and it's really been a pleasure. And probably the last 2 years have not been as good as the first 6 years, but in closing, I care about the county employees, I care about the county. It's been a pleasure to serve the county for the last 8 years, and I just wish everybody the best, and a Merry Christmas to everybody.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Next item of business is under old business. Number A, would you read that, Mr. Jimmy, please?
We've read this one before, haven't we?
This is our third reading.
Yeah, I'll move and read this by title only.
I'll second it.
Ron moves, title only, and Galen Jack second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Title only, Ms. Jimmy.
Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Carroll, State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to repeal Carroll County Ordinance 2003-013.
Move to adopt. Second. Galen moved to adopt. Tim second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
J.P. Deaton?
Yes.
Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Mr. Garrison?
Yes.
Mr. Howerton?
Yes.
Mr. McNeely?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Spocker?
Yes.
Motion passed. Next item of business is under new business. Number A, would you read that, Mr. Chairman, please?
An ordinance enacting revisions to the Code of Ordinance for the County of Carroll, State of Arkansas, and declaring an emergency. Whereas Arkansas Code annotated ACA 14-14903 requires Carroll County, Arkansas to codify and compile any existing ordinance and all new ordinances not yet hereon adopted and published and to incorporate such ordinances in one unified code in book form no later than 1980 and a minimum of every 5 years thereafter. And whereas the Quorum Court of Carroll County, Arkansas has authorized the general consultation, revision, and codification of the ordinances of Carroll County, Arkansas of a general and permanent nature and the publication of such ordinance in a book form. And whereas new ordinances have been passed since the adoption of the Code of Ordinances. Now therefore be it ordained by the Quorum Court of Carroll County, Arkansas. 1. New ordinances have been adopted by the Quorum Court since the Code of Ordinances was adopted by Carroll County in ordinance number 2014-09. 2. The Code of Ordinance referenced in section 1 is hereby been revised to include the new ordinances which are adopted by the Quorum Court subsequent to the adoption of Code of Ordinances. 3. The general ordinances of Carroll County, Arkansas is revised, amended, restated, codified, and compiled in book form are hereby adopted as and shall constitute the Code of Ordinances of Carroll County, Arkansas. 4. Repealer. All prior ordinances pertaining to the subjects addressed in this Code of Ordinances are hereby repealed from the effective date of this ordinance unless they are included and reordained in whole or in part in this code, provided such repeal shall not affect any offense committed or penalty incurred or any right established prior to the effective date of this ordinance. Nor shall such repeal affected ordinances which levy taxes, appropriate funds, annex or detached territory, establish franchises, or grant special rights to persons, authorize public improvements, authorize the insurance of bonds or borrowing of money, authorize the purchase or sale of real or personal property, grant or accept easement, plat or dedication of land to public use, vacate or set the boundaries of streets or other public places, nor shall such repeal affect any other ordinance of a temporary or special nature or pertaining to subjects not contained in or covered by the code. 5. Publication date. Such code shall be deemed published as of the day of its adoption and approval of the County Judge of Carroll County, Arkansas. The County Clerk of Carroll County, Arkansas is hereby authorized in order to file a copy of such Code of Ordinances in the office of County Clerk. 6. Emergency clause. This ordinance is declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the peace, health, safety, and general welfare of the people of Carroll County, Arkansas, and therefore this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after the date of its passage.
Move to approve. Lamont moves
Second.
approved. Ron, Don moves second. Any discussion?
The ordinance is pretty self-explanatory. It was tabled at the last meeting because there had been some questions about the accuracy of some of the information in the original book that was prepared for us. And Jamie, it's all been cross-checked and everything has been made current. That's correct.
Any more discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Eaton?
Yes.
Mr. Flake?
Yes.
Mr. Garrison?
Yes.
Mr. Howerton?
Yes.
Mr. McNeely?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Schweik?
Yes.
You want to start it?
Next item of business is under B. Would you read that, Mr. Henry, please?
Mr. Flake's going to go ahead and help me out on that, Judge, if that's okay?
That'll be fine.
Thank you.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Carroll, State of Arkansas, an ordinance entitled, an ordinance to establish the annual operating budget for calendar year 2015. Section 1, annual budget adopted by reference. The annual budget for calendar year 2015, identified as 2015 Annual Budget, Carroll County, Arkansas, dated December 19, 2014, is hereby adopted by reference. A copy of said budget shall be filed in the office of the county clerk and shall be available for inspection and copying by any person during normal business hours. Section 2, non-restricted expenditure categories. Expenditure of funds appropriated by this ordinance shall not be restricted to the line item expenditure code comprising the major categories of expenditures: personal services, supplies, other services and charges, and capital outlays. but shall be restricted to office departmental expenditures within the above and numbered major categories of expenditures, except for funds appropriated for personnel, salaries, and wages, and related employee benefits. Personnel expenditures shall not exceed the dollar amounts, number of employees, and salary or wage rates specified in the annual budget or an amendment thereto. Section 3, expenditures restricted to specified fund. No expenditures of appropriated funds shall be made from any fund other than the fund specified in this ordinance or an amendment thereto. Section 4, transfers. Any transfers of monies between the various funds of county or between the major categories of expenditures, personal services, supplies, other services and charges, and capital outlays shall be made only with prior approval of the Carroll County Quorum Court, provided, however, all transfers budgeted for in the annual budget shall be exempt from the provisions of this section, such as treasurer's transfers. Section 5, maximum appropriated amounts. A, General Fund 1,000. Total projected revenues are $4,350,299. Total projected expenditures are $4,238,561.58. B, Road Fund 2,000. Total projected revenues are $3,324,764. Total projected expenditures are $2,486,818.48. C, Road and Bridge Fund 2,800. Total projected revenues are $235,000. Total projected expenditures are $235,000. D, Treasurer's Automation 3,000. Total projected revenues are $63,342. Total projected expenditures are $47,777. Collector's Automation 3001. Total projected revenues are $382,500. Total projected expenditures are $38,383. F, Circuit Court Automation Fund 3002. Total projected revenues are $13,140. Total projected expenditures are $11,000. G, Assessor's Fund 3004. Total projected revenues are $21,150. Total projected expenditures are $10,000. H, County Clerk's Cost Fund 3005. Total projected revenues are $216,000. Total projected expenditures are $137,745. I, Recorder's Cost Fund 3006. Total projected revenues are $99,000. Total projected expenditures are $79,975. J, Child Support Collection. Total projected revenues are $14,670. Total projected expenditures are $12,400. K, Sales Tax Fund 3400. Total projected revenues are $2,024,970. Total projected expenditures are $0. L, County Detention Facility Fund 3018. Total projected revenues are $385,415. Transfer from sales tax, $1,288,319. Total projected expenditures are $1,673,734. M, Boating Safety Fund 3019. Total projected revenues are $27,301. Total projected expenditures are $27,300. N, Emergency 911 Fund 3020. Total projected revenues are $274,000. Transfer from sales tax, $252,739.29. Excuse me, $252,739.29. Total projected expenditures are $526,739.29. O, Fire and Equipment Training, Act 833, Fund 3023. Total projected revenues are $65,000. Total projected expenditures are $65,000. P, Adult Drug Court Fund 3028. Total projected revenues are $7,000. Total projected expenditures are $5,580. Q, Circuit Court Juvenile Fund 3031. Total projected revenues are $5,220. Total projected expenditures are $0. R, Voting System Grant Fund 3038. Total projected revenues are $10,646.48. Total projected expenditures are $6,344.61. S, Jail Commissary Fund 3039. Total projected revenues are $54,000. Total projected expenditures are $30,000. T, Berryville Library Fund 3401. Total projected revenues are $424,890. Total projected expenditures are $362,254. U, Green Forest Library Fund 3402. Total projected revenues are $474,930. Total projected expenditures are $345,239. V, Eureka Springs Library Fund 3403. Total projected revenues are $340,470. Total projected expenditures are $313,924. W, Court Improvement Grant Fund 3501. Total projected revenues are $1,500. Total projected expenditures are $0. X, Carroll Madison Library Fund. Total projected revenues are $109,691. Total projected expenditures are $109,691. Section 6, Severability. If any provisions of this ordinance or application thereof to any person or circumstance is held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect other provisions or applications of the ordinance which can be given effect without the invalid provisions or application. And to this end, the provisions of this ordinance are declared to be severable. Section 7, this ordinance being necessary for the protection and preservation of public health and safety, an emergency is hereby declared to exist, and this ordinance shall be enforced and take effect upon passage and publication.
That motion not given second. Any discussion?
What kind of raise did we end up with?
Any more discussion? Ron?
I just want to say a lot of work went into doing this budget to make it come out. It's a tight budget. It's not going to get any better in the next years. You guys need to work with the budget committee. As the sheriff said, we need to do something to improve our personnel system so we can give raises where they're needed and where they will do the most good. The Johansson Group personnel study would be a good start. If not that, some other personnel study, but you need to find a way to classify the employees so you can give merit raises, longevity raises, not just across the board raises. Those are unfair to your good employees. They are unfair to the whole system, and I hope you'll do that. I won't be here, it's not my problem anymore, but you guys are going to have to deal with it. It was tough to do the budget this year, and you got problems you're going to have to deal with in the next few months. The airport is not done, even though we put a dollar number in there. You're going to hear more about it. They're going to be back here next month, and probably the month after, and probably the month after that. You're going to be trying to figure out how to handle the airport. It's the Carroll County Airport. The county has liabilities and obligations with it. That's a continuing budget obligation that's going to have to be worked on. So I just want to say that budgeting has always been the toughest part of this job. Budget committee worked hard on this and did a good job on it, and hopefully you guys can get through the year with it.
really wrong, a lot of this is, you know, I've been pushing for some kind of a raise for the last few years, because the fact is that all the employees had a decrease in pay because of the insurance went up. And I was very much for the across the board 50 cents an hour, because everybody was having insurance problems, and I agree. We do need to look at it, we've always done this study, and I really encourage whoever gets on the personnel committee next year, takes a long look at this, and we do have some spots in there that is questionable, and we need to take a long look at it. And, we might as well get ready, because the airport is coming, and, what we did was the only way we could do to get their attention, and we did. And, we're gonna have a lot of problems getting this thing, because it's a part of the county that we taken care of. It just gotta be taken care of better than it's been taken care of in the past.
Anyone else? Larry?
No, or we're gonna have some sales tax money left over. Now, I seen approximately $1,400,000 or $1,600,000 we were using in the detention center and 911. Have we got that in a special fund, or is it just back there in case we get in the bind and need it, kind of back there in case we get in the bind? That's.
Anyone else? Not call for the vote.
Mr. Deaton?
Yes.
Mr. Flake?
Yes.
Mr. Garrison?
Yes.
Mr. Howerton?
Yes.
Mr. McNeely?
Yes.
Mr. Mills?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Ritchie?
Yes.
Mr. Ray?
Yes.
Mr. Spofford?
Yes.
That goes into your ordinance book, Judge, that's what's new.
Looks like we're down to JP comments and on the agenda. John, I think go first, so go ahead.
Okay. If not opening the deal on the budget committee this year, a lot of things that you discussed, and I didn't realize on this, and I want to admire Jack for leading us, and I think kept things under control, and everybody should be on the budget committee.
John?
I went to the meeting of the Ozark Regional Transit yesterday, and we approved their budget for the year. I just wanted to comment, the number of trips or number of uses in this county increased from 2013 was 2,518, and 2014 was 2,881. The thing that's a little peculiar is that almost all of those were Berryville. Now, the way they account for this, if somebody outside a city wants a ride and they dispatch the vehicle out there, they get on, that counts as a county ride. They come into the hospital in Berryville, go to the hospital, get back on the bus, that counts as a Berryville ride. But even so, the numbers are Berryville 2,733, Carroll County 107, Eureka Springs, who doesn't pay any money, 31, and Green Forest 10. I don't understand why there's such a discrepancy in the use of the Ozark Regional Transit. I think maybe we need more publication to people to understand that this is there for their use and make their increasing use of it. It's going up, but disproportionate in where it's being used.
All right.
Excuse me, just to give my heads, no, forget what I'm saying. To give you a heads up, probably next month, we will come in and I'm seeing whether we need an ordinance or a resolution or a gentleman's agreement to tell the judge to enter into agreement, but the city of Oak Grove is looking to Bearville District Court to collect their fines and fees for them and distribute back to Oak Grove. They are gonna pay $1,200 to do that. The city of Berryville City Council, passed that, last Tuesday night, I believe, gave the mayor permission to enter into agreement to do that. And so we will, I'm seeing whether I need a resolution or ordinance or what to bring to us next month, for us to agree on to have county judge to enter into agreement. So just a heads up on that.
Tom?
Sam, Ron Blake and I came on the Quorum Court at the same time, and I guess I'm blessed to stay on a little bit longer. But I appreciate him in lots of meetings and had a lot of wisdom. He worked from the time one meeting was over to the next meeting all month long, and I know that I talked to DeVoe last week. He was in the store, and he told me something I didn't know, that he was a major factor in the money that we got from FEMA on the ice storm. That DeVoe asked Ron up, and Ron filed and worked hard, and you too, DeVoe. Ron gives you guys the credit mainly, but it has always been great to have Ron on here, and I'm just miss him, and I'm looking forward to our new ones coming on. But a while back, the newspaper took a picture of Ron and the Harrison paper, and then when they did, someone at work cut it out and put it on the bulletin board because it's got a picture of Ron with my name in front of him. And my wife framed it and hanging on the wall for years, so I'm going to pass that around and then give it to Ron for him to hang on.
He looked happy too.
Well, I would like to say also too that I've enjoyed working with Ron, and now I know people think that me and Ron never agree on anything. You just notice the things that we don't agree on, but there's lots of things that we do, and I agree 100%. He works all the way from one meeting to the next. If everybody at the table put in as much work as Ron puts in, well, we'd all be pretty busy.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Well, a couple of things I would like to go on that, like Larry. Ron and I hadn't always agreed to be pretty boring if everybody agreed to everything anyway. But we have accomplished a lot together, and I've learned a lot from Ron. I appreciate what you taught me over the years I've been here with you. And secondly, Ramona couldn't be here. She's sick. Evidently, she had a private programmer build this automation system, and the auditor did not approve it. And so we're back to square one, and due to the emails and stuff, we're getting looked like that Judge Crowe was supposed to have done some stuff and didn't do it, and I haven't read it all yet. But basically, we're back to square one on these fine collections, and so it's going to be another one jump up and we'll have to work on it. And,
most of the money has gone out of her automation fund. Are you saying that money has not accomplished what needed to be accomplished?
evidently not. Like I said, I'm just got a handwritten note from her just now. It says that the programmer was a private entity that built the program for her, and obviously did not accept it, so I'm not sure. But like I said, we got a lot of work ahead of us on this, I believe.
Lamont?
Just to follow up on that, I believe that this was a freebie. That's what she was touting all year, that it was going to be a freebie, and I think we got what we paid for. While all this discussion was going on this year, I have discovered that there is also money at the state level that is available for automation of circuit clerk offices. So while her automation fund may be low, because she's done other things with putting records online, and that's been a huge and very expensive project, there could well be money available from the state to help with this. But it needs to be addressed immediately. That was not a very complimentary article that appeared in the paper this week. I'd just like to say a couple of things. First, on the circuit clerk situation, the article on the front page of the Democrat Gazette was not very complimentary. The article on the Carroll County News was not very complimentary. But if you read those articles, what they audited, what they looked at was just the last 2 years. That's the time that we have been pressuring to do something about those. Now, I wonder how bad it would be if you went back before that time when the pressure was not on. And I think there's big problems coming with that, and you guys are gonna have to look at it close. Ramona's not here to talk about it, and I'm not gonna talk about it much more, but, that's an important issue that impacts on what the sheriff was talking about too. The fines and fees fund the Administration of Justice Fund, which funds a lot of our court system, our public defenders. A lot of people are involved in that. That money statewide comes from fines and fees. And we're not the only county with this problem. There's lots of them. But ours may be worse than others, and you're going to have to figure out what to do with that. About the road department, I would like to say that we've been blessed, and I feel like I was blessed to be able to work with Sam and DeVoe back in the freezes and the floods when we had all these terrible problems here. And we all worked hard, and we did very well with FEMA and with Adam, the Arkansas agency, to get money for this county, and the county came out of those disasters much better than we went into them. We have had wonderful luck in getting money to help us do the things we needed to do to recover from those disasters, and our road crews have done great work all over the county taking care of any problems. I know lots of people who have had serious problems from flooding or freezing, and the road guys have come in and voluntarily helped them out. So I think that's certainly the smoothest and easiest part of county government, not running it, but as far as funding it and keeping it going. Our road crews have been great. DeVoe has done an excellent job as the road foreman. Other than that, this is my last meeting after 8 years, so I'm just going to say thank you. I've learned a lot from everybody. I've enjoyed all my time here. I've made a lot of friends, met some enemies. But generally, I've tried to get along, and I've tried to do what I think is best for the county, what the county needs. I've tried to bring up things for discussion. They haven't always been popular. Some we've enacted, some we've ignored, some we've thrown out. I remember when I tried to change something in the library, and a lot of talk about it to start with, and got voted down 11-1, so, or 10-1. It was not popular or necessary, but you learn from these things, and I've learned a lot, and really respect county government and appreciate all that all of you have done. Sam and I disagree on a lot of things, but I think we're friends and stay friends. We'll always disagree on a lot of things. And I am going to come back and harass him every now and then. I may come to a meeting now and then to see if John ever shows up anymore. I just want to say thank you to everybody. I think you have an able replacement coming for me. I believe in term limits, and the voters do too, and so I got term limited, and that's good. So I'll see you all here and there.
I'd just like to thank the sheriff for his service to our county. Anyone else? You don't know that.
Anyway, Ron's not the only one leaving, and gentlemen, I've worked with all of you quite a bit, a couple of you more than others too. I really appreciate all your help, and I wish you all well, and next year, for the next 2 years, get back in and give it another shot or whatever, but all of you put in a lot of time to this thing, and a lot of us really understand how many hours it takes to make this thing happen, and appreciate what you've done.
With that said, this is budget meeting day, and I want to commend the budget committee again, because I have worked on the budget committee before, and it's a lot of work.
Don?
Also, Galen, I appreciate the good job you did, and that's your Quorum Court duties, and Tim, yeah, the budget committee, again, I've been on the budget, and it is a lot of work, and it's a lot of headache, and probably the worst part is the personnel raise part. We want to give people raises for sure, but then when you ain't got the money, or you can't really squeeze it out, so we do need, that's why a long time ago we thought about that study to be done, to help us figure out what to do there. But that is the hardest part, I think. I appreciate you guys' work on the budget. John was on it last year, did a fabulous job. And, Richard tried to put John on the first year we got here. We thought, man, what did we do? We did nothing, you know. But that's a tough deal. And you guys make it so easy. I was unable to cover it in the meetings. Every time I saw the scheduled meeting, I was going to be at work. And I appreciate you guys, Jack.
Anyone else, Gavin?
I just want to say I appreciate my time here, and I thought I did the best I could. I enjoy working with every single one of you guys, and I agree with Joe. I think if you haven't served on the budget committee, it is very educational. It is, you know, we've been talking, I mentioned this to Mr. Clay at the last budget. At the beginning, I was against the salary study, but after being on the budget committee, I can understand the purpose for it and agree that it really does need to be done, because it's very difficult to make decisions without any type of parameters or guidelines to go by. And so I did change my mind after serving on that committee and understanding where these guys are coming from. I think it would be beneficial to the county. But I do enjoy my time. I wish everyone here the best. I'm going to miss the Ron and Galen show. I really enjoy working with you. I really enjoy working with Jack on the budget and every single one of them. Mr. Ritchie, I know that he's going to be glad to see me go because of all the how can we get this done, how can we get this done. But thank every one of you.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Larry?
Well, I will say this, and we've talked about going back and forth with Ron and stuff. You know, this is a very diverse county, and if we sit at this table and agree to 100% on things all the time, we wouldn't be representing our people. Because we've got two industries, just with the two, with the tourism and the agriculture tourism in this county, people at this table aren't going to agree all the time. If we did, we're not representing our people.
Yeah, he's right. That's when I went down to Hot Springs after I got to the training, and met Mr. Rainwater. He said, "Oh, you're from the county of the Freaks and Geeks," or something like that. He had a special name for us.
Anyone else? If not, my turn. Do we need to determine the date for the meeting and set the dates and time for Quorum Court for the upcoming year?
First of the year, we did that.
I have to do an ordinance on that.
That's the ordinance on it.
But you're no longer required to have that meeting the first week of the year. You can have your regular Quorum Court meeting.
Okay, so we'll wait till that first. Also on the turn in your agenda, there is an ordinance by Wednesday evening at 4:30, the week following before Quorum Court agenda, you need to have your ordinances in. And I'd like to give special thanks to the budget committee. Y'all have worked hard, and I'd like to give thanks to all of y'all. We don't always agree, but as long as we vote our conscience and what we feel like in our heart's right, that's where we need to stand. Everybody's heart don't look at things the same way. So I respect you. Look forward to working with you. Galen, you've done a good job. Hate to see you go. John, you've done a good job. Hate to see you go. Ken, you've done a good job. I hate to see you go. And Ron, you've done a good job. And I would like to say this when everybody agreed on something. I'd like to say this during the ice storm. John was a major help for that. He went to meetings with us, trying to figure out how we could get some knowledge to